let me tell you about one of the most dramatic military operations we've seen in years. How Israel launched over 350 strikes in just 72 hours to completely reshape the balance of power in Syria. This is a story about opportunity, timing, and what happens when a military superpower sees its chance to eliminate decades-old threats in one swift campaign. Let's start with something remarkable. In just 3 days, Israel has destroyed nearly 80% of Syria's strategic military assets. We're talking about everything from fighter jets to radar stations, from air defense systems to entire naval fleets. This isn't just a military operation, it's a complete dismantling of one of the Middle East's largest military forces. But to understand why this is happening now, we need to look at what just changed in Syria. When the Assad regime suddenly collapsed, something extraordinary happened. Key military positions were left completely unmanned. It was like someone had just walked away from their post, leaving everything behind. And Israel saw an opportunity they'd been waiting for since the 1970s. Think about this. Some of the targets Israel just hit were identified nearly 50 years ago. They've literally been waiting decades for this moment, and when it came, they moved with incredible speed. The Israeli Navy destroyed Syria's entire fleet in a single night. The Air Force conducted more than 350 strikes in less than 3 days. But here's where it gets really interesting. Israel didn't just stop at airstrikes. They actually moved ground forces into Syria and seized control of Mount Hermon. Now this isn't just any mountain, it's the highest point in the region, giving whoever controls it a clear view all the way to Damascus. It's like having a watchtower that can see into your neighbor's entire backyard. The numbers here are staggering. In less than a week, Israel has conducted over 350 airstrikes, destroyed 70 to 80% of Syria's strategic military assets, taken control of key positions that Syria held for over 50 years, pushed beyond the demilitarized zone for the first time since 1974. But here's what makes this operation truly remarkable. Israel is doing all this while trying to prevent these weapons from falling into the hands of extremist groups. It's like they're racing against time to destroy these weapons before someone else can grab them. The international reaction has been swift. The UN is demanding Israel withdraw from the buffer zone. Arab countries are calling it a land grab. But Israel's argument is simple. The old rules don't apply anymore because one of the parties to those agreements, Assad's regime, no longer exists. What we're watching here is more than just military strikes. It's a complete reshaping of the regional balance of power. Israel is basically hitting the reset button on 50 years of military buildup on its northern border, and they're doing it with a speed and precision that's leaving military analysts stunned. The question now is, what happens next? Will Israel really withdraw from these positions once they've secured them? Or are we watching the beginning of a new long-term reality in the region? One thing's for sure, the military map of the Middle East is being redrawn right before our eyes, and nothing will be quite the same after this.